At dawn, the sound of a rooster blends with the low hum of a guitar, because here, music isn't made in studios, but on the front porch. This is Luke Combs's Tennessee farm, where platinum records share space with hay bales and laughter echoes across open fields. Today, we're stepping inside his world, his home, his passions, and the country life that keeps his songs so real. Luke Combs's story begins far from the stadium lights and platinum plaques, in a quiet house in Charlotte, North Carolina, where music was something felt more than taught. Born in 1990, Luke grew up as the only child of hardworking parents, Rhonda and Chester. When the family moved to Asheville, the mountains became his soundtrack, the hum of a pickup on gravel roads, the echo of Friday night football games, and the soft strum of a borrowed guitar. He wasn't born into fame. He built it, one smoky bar stage at a time. At Appalachian State University, Luke Combs worked nights as a bar bouncer until one quiet evening he sang, and the room fell silent. In that moment, he found his purpose. Leaving school soon after, he began the journey that changed his life forever. 2014 was the year he carved his name into the wood of Nashville's crowded scene. He released his first EP, The Way She Rides, a small project that caught the attention of anyone listening closely. Then came Can I Get an Outlaw, a declaration of independence in a world chasing polished perfection. But it was This One's For You, in 2015, that turned heads, a raw, heartfelt tribute to every small-town dreamer who'd ever been told they couldn't make it. When Hurricane hit the radio in 2016, it did exactly what the title promised. It tore through the country charts and changed Luke's life overnight. Signed by Sony Music Nashville, he released his debut album This One's For You in 2017, and with it came a storm of hits. When It Rains, It Pours, One Number Away, Beautiful Crazy. Each song sounded like the truth, because it was every heartbreak, every beer-soaked night, every quiet prayer from a man still figuring himself out. By 2019, What You See Is What You Get turned him from a rising star into a phenomenon. The album didn't just top charts in America. It resonated around the world, reminding everyone that authenticity still sells. Beer never broke my heart, even though I'm leaving forever after all. They weren't just songs. They were confessions, written by a man who hadn't forgotten where he came from. But success came with its own weight. Fame arrived fast, and Luke had to learn how to stay true to himself. His third album, Growing Up, 2022, captured that struggle. Less about chasing charts, more about becoming a husband, a father, and a man balancing fame with family. The next year's Getting Old, 2023, felt like looking in the mirror, honest, nostalgic, and full of songs that sounded like quiet thoughts at sunset. And in 2024, Luke Combs' voice reached even wider audiences with his rendition of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car, earning him 2 Grammy nominations and a standing ovation that bridged generations of music lovers. That same year, his sold-out world tour reaffirmed his place among the greats, not just for his success, but for his ability to make every fan feel seen and heard. Yet, he never traded sincerity for spectacle. Whether performing for 80,000 fans or a handful of friends around a fire pit, Luke still sings with the same tenacity and passion. As he steps into 2025, new projects are already in motion. More songs, more stories, and a promise that country music's heartbeat will keep echoing through every verse he writes. Today, Luke Combs stands as one of country's most beloved voices, a man whose fortune and fame were built not on image, but on honesty. His songs fill arenas, yet his heart remains rooted in that Appalachian soil. The same hands that once held a bouncer's flashlight now strum million-dollar guitars inside a Tennessee farmhouse surrounded by family, friends, and fields. Every brick of that home, every acre of that land, tells the story of a boy who never stopped believing that real stories, sung with soul, could change his life. Tennessee Farmhouse, a blend of country soul and quiet luxury. Nestled among the rolling green hills of Tennessee, Luke Combs' farmhouse is a place where music, family, and serenity come together. Spanning over 2,500 square feet, the home sits on a gentle slope where morning dew lingers on the grass and crickets chirp behind a blackwood fence. A long driveway winds through manicured lawns and scattered oak trees, leading to a peaceful retreat, where Luke can step away from the spotlight and return to the simple, pure life. The exterior of the home strikes the perfect balance of rustic charm and modern beauty. Soft gray stone meets light oak siding, topped with a matte black metal roof that glistens in the Tennessee sun. White-framed windows reflect the expansive skyline, while a wraparound porch stretches along the front, lined with natural pine boards and softly lit by lanterns. This is where Luke and Nicole often sit around the guitar, their laughter blending with the rustling of leaves as the sun sets. Just a few steps away, a sunken jacuzzi tub, equipped with a flat-screen TV, becomes their evening retreat, perfect for game nights or rewatching old shows. Beyond, the property opens onto a lush courtyard, where a stone fire pit sits at the edge of a forest, surrounded by 4 dark wooden chairs. A quiet spot where Luke once wrote the lyrics to Better Together, one peaceful summer night. Inside, the living room opens to a soaring wooden ceiling supported by heavy beams that smell of cedar and thyme. Floor-to-ceiling black-framed windows flood the space with natural light, framing the distant Tennessee hills like a living work of art. A curved caramel sofa anchors the space, flanked by 2 ivory armchairs and a sleek gray double-sided fireplace, separates the living area from a cozy reading nook. Above, 2 steel ring chandeliers cast a soft yellow glow throughout the room, creating a warmth that's both intimate and cinematic, the essence of Luke's country rock soul. The kitchen tells a similar story of balance, sophisticated yet rustic. A large marble island sits at the center, its veining reflecting the soft morning light. Matte gray cabinets with gold-plated hardware line the walls, dotted with open shelves displaying ceramic mugs and vintage cookbooks. 2 antler-inspired chandeliers hang above, casting a soft glow over the breakfast bar, where Luke often scribbles song ideas while sipping his morning coffee. From here, the open space flows straight into the living room and out to the backyard, a scene Luke calls his peace, where sunlight dances on the wood floors as he strums a few chords to start the day. The master bedroom is the quietest corner of the house, a retreat that's both private and personal. A vertical light wood wall rises behind the caramel-colored leather bed, creating a textural rhythm that echoes the steady beat of a country tune. A sage green rug, soft ivory carpet, and warm pendant lights complete the space with casual elegance. Sliding glass doors lead into the spa-like bathroom, where a freestanding tub sits next to a large glass window overlooking the trees. Gold fixtures shimmer delicately against wood-grain cabinets and polished mirrors, creating a sense of handcrafted luxury, simple, natural, and timeless. Each guest room has its own unique vibe. One features black paneling and zebra-striped bedding, bold, somber, and energetic, reminiscent of Luke's stage persona. The other has a softer palette, with green tones, brass lamps, and linen curtains that sway gently in the afternoon breeze. Even the laundry room, which is typically a place of everyday life, has a special touch here. Marble countertops, open shelves on either side, and a crystal chandelier that reflects folded flannel shirts, a combination of farmhouse practicality and quiet elegance. From the outside, the house sounds like a country song. There was a small pond where Luke took Tex and Bo fishing, a large lawn for summer barbecues, and a clearing where the kids would chase fireflies at dusk. Friends would gather around the fire with beer in hand and guitars nearby, their laughter echoing through the trees long after dawn. Some nights, Luke would take out his guitar and play softly, not for the audience, but for the hills, the sky, and the people he loved most. As dusk settles over the Tennessee hills, the farmhouse glows softly, not in grandeur, but in belonging. Here, Luke Combs is not a superstar, but a son of the South, a husband, a father, grounded, grateful, and home. Behind the peaceful backdrop of his Tennessee farm are his cars, each with its own story, tied to the journey where passion and success come together on the roads he travels. Car collection. Under the shade of Tennessee pines, Luke Combs' love for trucks feels like part of his music, raw, honest, and built on memories. His Ford F-150 FX4 sits quietly behind him, engine off, but spirit alive. This beast, powered by a 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 delivering 400 horsepower, has seen more backroad sunsets than most tour buses. It was his first big purchase after breaking through the country charts, and he still takes it to the woods when he needs to clear his head or test out new lyrics. With off-road suspension and a towing capacity of over 14,000 pounds, it's both a workhorse and a quiet companion. Then there's his pride on wheels, a white GMC Sierra Denali, bold and lifted, gleaming like a modern cowboy's stallion. Luke first drove it with Nicole, his wife, heading to a small-town music festival where no one cared about charts, just good songs and cold beer. Its interior, wrapped in leather and technology, makes it both a luxury lounge and a touring truck, equally at home in Nashville or on a dirt road lined with flags and friends. Valued at around $90,000, this car is a symbol of modern Southern pride, where luxury meets country spirit. Those two cars are not just means of transportation, but the mark of a man who lives true to himself, simple, strong, and attached to the old values that he cherishes. And behind those personalized cars is a growing fortune, the result of hard work, heartfelt singing, and a long journey built on passion and perseverance. Income and net worth. With a net worth estimated around $20 million, Luke Combs has turned raw talent and everyman charm into one of country music's most lucrative empires. His financial story begins not with a Hollywood deal, but with the steady hum of stadiums sold out across America. Each show on his world tour reportedly grossed over $1 million, a testament to his loyal fan base and the authenticity that keeps his songs echoing long after the lights fade. Touring remains his lifeblood, a blend of performance and communion, where music meets business in perfect harmony. The real breakthrough came with his debut album, This One's For You, in 2017, a record that quietly snowballed into a phenomenon, selling millions and earning platinum status. When his second album, What You See Is What You Get, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, the financial impact was seismic. Streaming royalties surged, pushing his annual income well into 7 figures, and establishing him as one of Nashville's most bankable artists. Beyond music, Combs' voice turned into a brand. Endorsements with companies like Columbia Nashville and partnerships tied to his tours added another layer of income, while merchandise, hats, vinyl, and limited edition apparel became a multi-million-dollar business of its own. Each logo and lyric on a t-shirt isn't just merchandise. It's a connection to the blue-collar roots that define him. His songwriting catalog also became a steady stream of revenue. Every time Beautiful Crazy or Forever After All plays on radio or streaming platforms, royalties flow in, not just as profit, but as proof that storytelling still pays. Luke Combs doesn't flaunt his wealth. He invests it quietly. From real estate in Tennessee to a growing portfolio of touring companies and production rights, he's building a foundation meant to last longer than fame. His 400-acre Tennessee farm, custom trucks, and vintage guitars are not just possessions but reflections of a man who built his fortune without ever losing his roots. And through it all, Luke Combs has built not just wealth, but stability. The kind that lets him take care of his family, his team, and the communities that once shaped him. Money, for him, was never about excess. It was about purpose. That same sense of purpose would soon guide his generosity, the way he gives back to fans, to causes close to his heart. Philanthropy. For Luke Combs, giving back isn't a grand gesture. It's simply who he is. In 2017, Luke partnered with the Country Music Association Foundation to support the Houston Independent School District after Hurricane Harvey. Together, they raised a total of $1 million, with $700,000 funding rebuilt music programs, $50,000 for new instruments, and $200,000 for disaster relief. To Luke, these were more than numbers. They were opportunities, chances for thousands of children to touch a guitar for the first time. A year later, Luke moved audiences to tears when he met Jocelyn, a brave young girl fighting leukemia, who had raised $100,000 for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. On stage that night, Luke announced he would personally match her donation with another $100,000. Then came 2024. When Hurricane Helene devastated his home state of North Carolina, Luke didn't hesitate. Alongside Eric Church, he organized the Concert for Carolina at Charlotte's Bank of America Stadium, drawing more than 80,000 fans and raising $24,500,000 for relief organizations such as Mana Food Bank, Second Harvest, Samaritan's Purse, and Eblin Charities. In 2021, Luke turned his spotlight toward mental health. After hearing stories from fans struggling with depression and loss, he partnered with MusiCares, a foundation under the Recording Academy, to provide financial and emotional support for touring musicians affected by the pandemic. Luke personally contributed $500,000 and headlined a virtual benefit concert that raised an additional $3,200,000. The funds covered therapy sessions, rent assistance, and medical bills for over 1,500 artists and crew members who had lost work. For Luke, it was not just about keeping the music alive, but about taking care of the people who make it possible. Through every concert, every dollar raised, and every life touched, Luke Combs proves that country music's heart beats not just in its melodies, but in the kindness of those who sing. And beyond the stage and his generous heart, Luke's true happiness is found in the quiet rhythm of everyday life, surrounded by family, music, and the peace, personal life. These days, life for Luke Combs unfolds in the heart of Tennessee, inside a cozy farmhouse where country music meets the rhythm of family. Each morning starts with sunlight pouring through the kitchen windows, the sound of little feet running down the hallway, and Luke brewing coffee for Nicole before stepping onto the porch with his guitar. In 2025, he chose to slow down touring to be home more with the boys, turning this farmhouse into both a family retreat and a place of quiet creativity. Afternoons are simple and pure, writing songs in his studio, taking Tex and Bo fishing by the pond, or sitting back as the sunset paints the fields gold. Watching their faces light up when they catch their first fish, it beats any sold-out show, Luke once shared. Inside, it's a world of laughter, music, and the warmth of home-cooked dinners around the big wooden table. When night falls, Luke reads bedtime stories to the boys, then joins Nicole on the porch under a sky full of stars. Sometimes, he picks up his guitar, not to perform, but to play just for them. Out here, he's found balance, peace, and purpose. Surrounded by family and open space, Luke isn't the superstar on stage. He's just a husband, a dad, and a man who's exactly where he's meant to be. Right now, Luke Combs is in one of the most grounded yet creative chapters of his career. Not through a whirlwind tour, but through quiet, intentional work. In 2025, he released a trio of songs under the prequel, My Kinda Saturday Night, 15 Minutes, and Days Like These, hinting at a new era that fans are eagerly waiting for. He followed it with Back in the Saddle in July, a song that feels like both a comeback and a reflection of who he is today. A man finding peace between fame and fatherhood. Behind the scenes, Luke spends long afternoons in his home studio, writing new material for his upcoming album set to arrive early next year. He's not chasing trends, he's chasing honesty. His lyrics now carry more warmth, more gratitude, shaped by the rhythm of family life and the lessons of slowing down. On the road, Luke has trimmed his schedule to about 24 shows a year, just enough to stay connected with fans without missing the moments that matter at home. "I want to see my boys grow up," he said. "That's more important than anything else." Between sessions and short tour stops, he's content being both a global star and a local dad. Proof that success doesn't always mean doing more, but doing what truly matters. Luke Combs stands today as a man who has found the perfect rhythm between fame and family. From the small bars of North Carolina to the world's biggest stages, he's built a career rooted in honesty, heart, and hard work, never losing sight of the people and places that made him who he is. Behind every hit song is a story of love, grit, and home. If you love stories that celebrate music, family, and the power of staying true to yourself, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, and tell us in the comments whose world you want to explore next.